Yeah, what up, man? Triple B, Baseboxing Basement here for the funds. Please like, subscribe, give money, whatever, man. Donate all these things, man. You know what I'm saying? You know the score, blood. But make sure you like. It don't cost nothing, not a thing, not a goddamn thing. Right, so, yeah, this is one of them random videos. As you know, I'm suffering from insomnia. But I'm dealing with it. You know, one of the things that has worked well, weirdly, when dealing with insomnia, you know, I've tried all kinds of things, CBD, you know, sleepies, codeine that I extracted, using cold water extraction. Yeah, I ain't gonna talk much about it, but you know, I'm not suggesting nobody does it, but if you know, yeah, know. Anyway, the other thing I've done is I find it really helps me to sleep. If anybody else suffer from insomnia, is to get up, get off your bed, can't sleep, go to your kitchen, make yourself a sandwich, or maybe you made some pasta earlier, warm it up in the microwave. Don't even have to be a big bowl, you know, just a half, you know, just enough to just have a little scoff, a little treat. You know what I mean? Like a starter. You know, in Italy, pasta, to my understanding, is largely used as a first course. It's a small dish. It's not the massive dishes we eat. I mean, I'm sure it's not all that case, but originally that was the case. Because Italians, like the French and the Spanish, you know, they like to eat. It's not like the English, the British, you know, who are a bunch of degenerates who don't appreciate. I mean, we appreciate good food better now. You know, we have a good a selection of foods to get, but most English people, you know, have got no class when it comes to eating. They will get their food. You know, they probably can't bother to make it, so they buy some pre-made rubbish, cook it up, and sit there. You know, and put it on the table, put it on their lap, and watch the TV. Watch Strictly Come Dancing or whatever. You know? Or if they got any brains, they'll watch the Triple B videos on their TV and they'll eat in front of the TV. You know? You ever been with one of them families that don't eat at the table? You know? It's such a UK thing. They don't eat at the table, man. They don't sit around the table as a family and eat and talk like back in the day. They will sit there. They will probably have special fold-away tables, TV tables, I call them. Or, you know, you can get these trays that have got cushions underneath them that are specifically designed. I mean, it's such a British thing. They are specifically designed so you can sit on your chair, yeah, with your tray, which has got cushion on it, so it's all comfortable, and you put your food on top of it, and you and your trash family watch Strictly Come Dancing or whatever, the football, EastEnders, whatever nonsense, you know, the trash watch, and you know, eat their dinner. They won't even talk, you know, and if they do eat at the table, most of them probably on their phones, you know. People with more class are like, no, come on, bro, we eat at the table and we don't have our phones. We talk, we discuss. I mean, you know, that's a middle class thing. It's a very middle class thing, but you know, I prefer that approach. At least you're having some conversation. But you know, the middle class are notoriously blue-pilled NPC normies. Why? Because they're happy, because they're comfortable, because you know, they've got a half decent job. They make enough money to pay their mortgage, and to buy half decent food. You know, they don't have to go to Iceland and buy frozen pizzas for 99p per pizza, per 12-inch pizza, you know, and it ain't really food. You know, look at next time you go into Iceland or somewhere like that, go and look at the ingredients and you will find all these chemicals, even like tortillas, right? I was shocked, right? When I bought some, I like to make like fajitas, these kind of things. And, you know, they're beautiful, man. If you cook it properly, if you spend some time, you sit there going, damn, that's good, right? But I looked at the ingredients for most tortillas. There's like about 10 different chemicals. You know why I knew? Because I was looking at tortillas and I'm going, blood clot, wait, hang on, man. Tortillas should have 3 ingredients: flour, salt, and water. That's it. That's it. But look at the ingredients. And I'm like, look, I was looking at the best before date and it's like 2 months. 2 months these last. I'm like, man, that can't be right. And then I turned it around and what did I find? Tens of chemicals, preservatives. You know what I'm saying? So, really you should make your own tortillas or get some organic kind of tortilla types because the rubbish they sell you is full of chemicals and this alters your mood. It alters, your brain patterns. I do it sometimes when I'm lazy. Anyway, I made this stew today. I made this stew. I made it completely, I made it, I'm not claiming I'm brilliant, but I can cook. And I made a stew. I had some lamb chops, and they were going up, they were close to going off. I'm like, right, I better use these, right? So what did I do? I made a stew out of it. I got my slow cooker out, yeah? I got my slow cooker out, and I'm thinking, what am I going to put in this, right? So, the slow cooker is so good to use, man, right? And that's how I make proper bolognese. And, proper bolognese ain't spaghetti bolognese, it's tagliatelle. And if you look at the actual recipe for proper bolognese, and they've got an official organization which has released the correct way to make tagliatelle bolognese. And it's very different than what you think. You got to cook it for at least 3 hours. You can only use a ceramic bowl so it doesn't burn any of the ingredients. You use white wine, not red wine. White wine is the official way. Although some people dispute that. Yeah? There's not that much tomato that goes into it. Yeah? It's basically celery, onions chopped fine. Celery, onions, and carrot chopped fine. Yeah? Beef mince, but fatty beef mince, right? Not lean beef mince, because the fat brings flavor. And then you put in some stock. And funnily enough, even though you're using beef, you don't use beef stock. You use chicken stock. And there's no herbs in it. You don't put no herbs in your tagliatelle bolognese, yeah? You put in only pepper and salt if needed. That is it. Also, after you cooked it up for 2 hours, slow cooking on a low heat, yeah, and you stir it now and then, of course, but if you got a slow cooker, it's perfect. And then you put in some milk, some whole milk, 1 hour. After 2 hours, you put in some whole milk, and you cook it for an extra hour. In fact, you can actually use cream if you want it to be creamier. So both are allowed, cream or whole milk. And it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Why? Because it just becomes one. All these ingredients, they're not bitty. It becomes one. Yeah? Loads of pancetta. There's an equal amount, I think, of pancetta and beef. Chicken stock, white wine, bit of milk and cream, put in at the right time. Yeah? And some pepper and some salt. And you cook it in a ceramic cooker for a minimum of 3 hours. So anyway, I made this stew in my slow cooker. I must have cooked it for like about 4 hours, right? So I made it up. I mean, it's no big deal, man, right? So I chopped up my lamb. I put in a bit of chopped tomatoes and some puree, not much, some rosemary. I put in some garlic, a few more herbs, general herbs like Italian herbs, onions, carrots, yeah, some already cooked potatoes, some small potatoes, new potatoes, right? Some stock. Lamb stock would be best, but I didn't have any, so I used beef stock, but it didn't make any difference. It was beautiful. And some water. some starchy water. Now that's either water that has been just a little bit, either been used to cook pasta in or to cook potatoes in. Some starchy water, a little bit of salt, and a bit of pepper. And I cooked it for 3 hours or more in my slow cooker. It was beautiful, man. I think the stew was so good that I ate the whole lot in one sitting. Well, not one sitting, but like one evening. And I'm talking about a liter, maybe a liter and a half, right, of stew. I felt like Hughie Fury, I think if Hughie Fury had tasted my stew tonight, he'd want to marry me. He'd get down on his knees and go, "That is the best stew I've ever had. Can you cook me some more? 2 liters is not enough to satisfy my belly, And I'd like to marry you because you're so good at making stew." I'm like, "Look, Hugh, I ain't to know about your business." He goes, "Nor am I. I just want you to make me stew." Huh? Yeah, it was beautiful, man. Anyway, what's the time now? 12:20. So I'll probably go to bed about 2. I need at least 6.5 hours of solid sleep to feel good. And that's the other thing. If you do get sleepy, actually, if you get up and like I said, if you eat a little bit of some heavy carbs. Now, obviously, people say, "Oh, you mustn't eat after 8 o'clock. You mustn't eat before you go to bed." Yeah, okay, man. But if you suffer from insomnia, don't let that get in your way. Make sure you go to the gym and work hard, man. And you're more likely to work hard at the gym like I did today. I was smashing the bag, man. I felt like I was a heavyweight version of Prince Nazim, but better looking and without the gaps in my teeth, And people were looking at me and I was dancing. There's that video of Prince Nazim dancing when he's hitting the heavy bag. It's like that, but the heavyweight version, man. There was power, there was speed. Obviously, there's accuracy. It's quite hard to miss a heavy bag, isn't it? Right? So what I'm saying is this. Do what you have to do to get to sleep, man. It doesn't matter if halfway through. I got up at 2 a.m. last night and I had a bit of pasta I made and I just heated it up. I eat it. 5 minutes later, I dropped to sleep. So, this is just another tip for all the insomniacs around there. I also dropped a bit of some other stuff as well, Some people like a bit of greens. Some people like a bit of CBD. Some people like a bit of, cocodamol, which you can, cold water extract as well, by the way. And, so this is, it was beautiful. The stew is beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm satisfied. I'm very satisfied with my stew. But this is not a stew channel. This is not a cooking channel, but it's just a little tip. Everybody likes to go. I like to go on a bit of a tangent now and then. You know what I'm saying? So But please put, as the American channels like, hey, please put in the comments whether you think you can make a good stew. Believe me, this stew is beautiful, man. Beautiful, man. I feel like Gordon Ramsay, man. I feel like Gordon Ramsay is sitting back, boasting about how good his cooking is, but without having to shout at anyone, without having a red wrinkled face like Gordon Ramsay. And also, I don't have no crackhead, heroin-addicted brother like he has, who he's bailed out a few times. I'm also not an egotist like Ramsay. But yeah, man, I enjoyed a great stew. I've still got a couple of mouthfuls left, and I'm going to tuck in, bro. I'm going to hit that thing and throw it down my gob. And hopefully have a good sleep. All right? Peace in the Middle East.